This is Monday with the Mayor. Today we're in Loogootee with Mayor Noel Harty. Noel, how are you doing?
We're good. How about you?
Doing well.
Weather's well, right?
Yeah, definitely. We've got a break from that humidity at least for a while.
For sure. Seems like when school starts, it's usually the opposite, but it's usually the hottest part of the summer, but it's not been too bad.
Yes, school's in full swing now, and with that, some fall sports.
Yep, started last Wednesday, and the girls had the volleyball team had their scrimmage Thursday night, and they've got their opening game tonight with Jasper, in fact, and it's at home here. It's starting at 6 o'clock, and I believe the JV game is first, and then the varsity follows.
Okay. And then with the start of school, there's also a lot of exciting developments coming in for the library, which is a big resource for everybody in the community, but especially the school kids.
Absolutely. You know, it was announced through rural development. It's not necessarily a grant, but it's a loan, which means that they can get it at low interest rate, and they can carry it over up to 40 years, though the average of these loans, usually most people or most entities pay them off in 10 years. But it was announced that the library, which this was the first time a public library had utilized this funding mechanism, it was announced that they were awarded a $1.1 million loan so that they will be able to now build the library that they'd like out on the St. Vincent de Paul lot next to the store.
Okay.
I don't know how much you guys, how much we've really talked about in the past, but counting the outside and the area that'll be covered, it's going to be about a little over 9,000 square feet. So it will be 3 times the facility they have, counting the basement and everything, the facility they have now. Now they have 3,000 square feet just in kind of a square, and you can imagine having 3,000 square feet and having bookcases and so forth. It's pretty cramped. So.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It'll be much bigger compared to the one that used to be out on North Line.
Right, yeah, that was the Fanny Folks Home, and that was in, I believe, I'm not sure if that was in the 70s when that was donated, and then it was in the 2000s, around 2006, I believe, when they moved downtown into the current library. So, yeah, they're pretty excited about this, and the numbers for the library are just, it's just unbelievable, the amount of use in the summer programs and the amount of people that come through the door. It's unbelievable.
And then there's been a little bit of discussion about some improvements to the city park recently as well.
What we did a couple years ago, we attended an auction at Washington. They had received a grant to purchase some new equipment, like $180,000 worth of equipment, which sounds like a lot of equipment, but when you get down to the nuts and bolts of things, and what things cost, it's not that much. But I mean, it was something, don't get me wrong, but when you look at it and you think $180,000, playground equipment is just very expensive. But we attended their auction, and we purchased a bus, a Jeep, and a couple of, I call them bouncy toys. And we had the bus and the Jeep redone, and we've recently installed those 4 pieces of equipment. So one of the bouncy toys is a lion, so we thought we had to have that when we went to the auction. So, and we saved some money. You know, Green's Body Shop here in town did some of the sandblasting and the painting, and that was, you know, instrumental in us really being able to save some money. So I think we've got a couple $1,000s in those 4 pieces of equipment, and probably the bus alone, if we'd have bought it, would have been $6,000 or $8,000 anyway alone. So the last time we purchased a brand new slide, and it was just very simple, it was like around $8,000. So it's unreal what equipment costs. So.
Yeah, and also we're looking into maybe an assisted living facility here in Loogootee.
Last Wednesday, we met with House Investments. It's no secret who they are. They're based out of Indianapolis. They have a facility in Bloomington referred to as Jill's House. And they have a nonprofit side, and then they have a for-profit side. And they're kind of interested in, they're somewhat diverse. They're interested in child care all the way up to senior care. And what we did about 1.5 years ago, we started on this, and we did an assessment of our city and the surrounding area, which could mean Montgomery, could mean Shoals. And what the results of that survey came back that we could justify having a 100-unit facility here. We could. So what they're looking into is doing a 70-unit to begin with, maybe having a main facility where it would be all connected, and then maybe having some duplexes. And so, you know, you're looking at several $1 million facility, and that's a huge investment for our community. But not only is it an investment, but it will allow people not to have to leave our community to, you know, in order to go to an assisted living facility as they do now. And also, you know, what all that results is, the bottom line too, is it also allows for people to purchase homes. You know, those homes will come for sale. Those people will move into the assisted living facility, and then the availability will be there. Housing is just such a big issue now.
Common Council meeting's coming up tonight.
It's tonight. We've got the Humane Society is coming back. They have approached the Common Council about maybe assisting with some of their funding. We've got the salary ordinance on there, of course. You know, then we've got the normal routine of the claims and streets and ditches. We are working towards a stormwater project through community crossings, and probably around $500,000 to $600,000 is what we're planning on going after on that. So a lot going on in our community. For being such a small community, it seems like there's 3 or 4 projects at all times. So,
definitely. Is there any other that I haven't mentioned that you would like to highlight?
you know, again, I think we've talked about it before. On October 1st, Hoosier Uplands will be opening Eagle Place Apartments. So hopefully maybe we can even arrange something to be there live maybe that day or something. So, but it would be it's a great opportunity. It'll be 20 units that'll be for 55 years or older, and again, some of the apartments are 1,200 square feet. So that's literally, I think, bigger than my house is. So anyway, so.
Yeah, all kinds of diverse options coming in for housing.
There is, and you know, that's the biggest, no matter where you go. And I know Jasper, that has been a big issue, but no matter where you go, it's almost impossible to find quote unquote affordable housing. You know, we were talking earlier today, you can almost, in fact, you can, if you've got a down payment and the circumstance, you can buy cheaper than you can rent right now. So,
well, we have all the new housing improvements coming in, improvements coming around the city, the library, public resources, all kinds of great things going on right now.
Yep. I couldn't be more proud of our community. You know, our people really come together, and you know, I think when they begin to see the need for a project, which I think you always have to present that, you have to show your residents that there is in fact a need, and then I think once that's presented, it seems like not just Loogootee, but Shoals and Martin County as a whole, they just really come together, and for a small community and with perhaps modest means, I just think we really do well. We have to rank, you know, towards the top.
Definitely. Well, thank you for talking with us today.
Well, thank you for coming. I always look forward to you being able to talk about and promote our community.
Oh, definitely. For Monday with the Mayor, I'm Jurnee Davis. We're here in Loogootee with Mayor Noel Harty for this week's edition of Monday with the Mayor.